Morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do a review of this, the Lancome. It's called Sourcils Gel and it's a brow gel, brow cream, that's what it looks like. And I would estimate this to be the 6th time I've done this intro because I have a very high energy puppy this morning. He sounds like he's sleeping in the hall. I really hope he is. I'm not going to get up and check because last time I did that he then followed me back and wanted to play. So I think if I just sit here, hopefully he'll keep quiet. So let me tell you how I discovered this. I always go and say hello to my Lancome friend Heather in Boots when I go into Boots, and she tells me about what's out that's new. And this time she was like, oh, we've got brow gels out, and I was like, yes, sold, I'll have one, because you guys know I'm kind of obsessed with brow products anyway. But also what appealed to me about it is it looks like the Anastasia Dipbrow. That I love, but I thought for you guys, if this was a good product, it's something that most people can get, because MAC have a brow gel, Laura Mercier have one, which is kind of okay, but there isn't one from somewhere that everybody in the UK can get to. And I thought, well, Lancome is somewhere that most people can go to, in Boots, in Debenhams, you know, there's a lot of places you can get Lancome. So if it's as good as, or nearly as good as, the Anastasia Dipbrow, I thought it'd be useful for you guys, and that was an excuse for me to buy it. So there are 6 colours, and I couldn't decide between number 2, which is Auburn, and number 3, which is Taupe, and this one is number 3 and it's Taupe. So there's an innovative brush, if you like, that comes with it that I'm not particularly keen on. It's kind of in the shape of a diamond, and I used that brush, and because it's in a diamond, I use one side on my left to use number 2 and one side on the right to use number 3. And I couldn't decide between the 2, but Heather, the Lancome lady, thought number 3. She didn't have 2 in stock, so I thought, right, I'll go for 3 and I'll try it, and I really enjoy it. That's what I've got on my eyebrows today. But I did want to try 2 as well, because as I said, I'm obsessed with products. I thought it'd be good to do swatches for you guys. So I went in search of it yesterday. I sat and phoned several places to find out if they had it in stock. I went into town and searched for it there, and I just couldn't find number 2. And I found out that actually it's only exclusively launched in Boots at the moment, and that's not for another 2 weeks that it will be officially launched, and you'll find it in other places. So while I was in Boots, another Boots where they didn't have number 2 either, they did have a tester. So I swatched all 5 colours. I didn't swatch black because black is black, you know. And I'll have a picture of that for you either at the beginning or here or at the end somewhere. I'll show you that picture. And then when I came home, I kept it on my hand, and when I came home I added on some of these Anastasia Dipbrow colours. I've got caramel and soft brown so that you could see the difference. So I have of course got my trusty spreadsheet. I'll give you the details that I've got on here. The price is £19.50. I don't know if it's the same amount as this. Looks about the same as the Anastasia one, and the claims are it's a waterproof gel cream to structure and fill in, great for building up whether you want natural or more defined brows. Comes in 6 shades, so there's Blonde, which is 01, Auburn, which is 02, Taupe, which is 03, Châtain, which is 04, and that Châtain is like a brunette or a chestnut brown. Then Brun, which is 05, which just means brown, Noir, which is 6 and is black. So that's what Lancome says about it. What do I think? I love it. I really, really love it, and especially this colour. And the funny thing is that when I did the swatches in my last search for number 2 yesterday, I then had to walk outside in the natural light for a while, and I was looking at my hand the whole while I was walking to my car thinking, firstly, this has got a sheen to it, which I did not realise. And I was tempted to buy the Giorgio Armani Brow Maestros. I think they're called Brow Maestros. But they had a sheen to them, and I thought, no, I don't want a sheen to my brows. But then I noticed that, like I said, that these had a sheen to them. Not all of them. It seemed to me to be 2 and 3 that had a sheen. But also the number 2 is so red, and I hadn't noticed how red it was. And so I don't now think I'm going to buy number 2. I don't know. It's easy to say that because I'll be tempted to just try it out, you know. But it did look much more red. And actually, on my way home, I stopped at my dad's. Because he's got some back pain. I needed to get his mobility trolley out of his car. So I stopped and I said to him, Dad, which of these colours do you think would be my brow colour? And held my arm up. And he said number 3, which is the one that I've got. And I said, oh, not number 2. And he went, no, that's too red. So perfect. I've got the right colour for me, I think. I will do some swatches for you in a moment, but how does it compare to the Anastasia Dipbrow? It is not quite as pigmented as the Anastasia Dipbrow, by which I mean when you use a brush with it, you don't instantly get that really dark colour. Because when I first started using the Dipbrow, and I think most people said this when they did reviews, it was very difficult. It was hard to get used to because you barely have to tap your brush in it. Otherwise you get too much product, and it can be very easy to get a really harsh looking defined brow with the dip brows. You have to learn to be very, very light-handed, which for me is very hard. There are others that don't put enough product down. This to me puts down the perfect amount of product. It's not, like I said, as pigmented, but you still get a fair amount. And if you press harder with your brush, you can get more, and you can get more of a defined look. But just one kind of average press of your brush, I feel like you get the right amount of cream. So that's how it compares application wise. I didn't like the brush. I can't remember if I said that to you. I feel like it's something they've brought out just to try and be new, you know, to try and bring something new out, but I don't see that it has anything extra to it other than it has two sides of what, you know, it's got two angled sides rather than the one that you would normally get on an eyebrow brush. So the brush isn't for me, and you buy that separately. It doesn't come with the product. Wearing wise, this stuff doesn't budge. I have tested this. I've been wearing this for a week and a half, I think. A week and a half, and 1 or 2 days I used a pencil. I think I might have used my MAC Brow Lingering, something like that. Brow Pencil in Lingering. But every other time I've used this, and I have used it on days where I have been like running about like crazy and sweating a lot because it's been very, very hot and humid here in Scotland actually. And my brows have not budged. And with the Anastasia Dipbrow, I would say is now number 2 after this, the longest wearing brow product I've used. You know, I didn't find that moved. The only time that I found problems with it is where I sometimes sit and sort of do this, you know. I'm somebody that touches my face a lot, which I know isn't right, but I do that. And I've got very oily skin, and like I said, with it being hot and humid, I'm sweating. And with the Anastasia Dipbrow, I did sometimes notice that it had moved a tiny bit, not an awful lot. But with this one, it just looks perfect at the end of the day. I'm actually really surprised that I like the colour so much, because like I said, if I'd have noticed that it had that sheen when I saw it in the natural light, I probably wouldn't have got it, to be honest. Would I? I might have tried it anyway, but it wouldn't have, that might have already affected my decision. You know, when sometimes you've got like an aversion to something and you've made up your mind before you've even tried it. I just didn't think I would want anything that had, I mean, it's only a slight sheen, and like I said, I will give you swatches in a moment, but so far this to me is just superior to the Anastasia Dipbrow. Not that there's anything wrong with the Anastasia Dipbrow, but I can't find a bad thing to say about this. And as I've said in a recent video, that doesn't happen to me very often. It's like with dupes. I haven't done any dupes for ages because I haven't found any dupes. But the last time I did a dupes video, I think I did about 4 videos in a row, something like that. I found loads of things. And I just seem to be finding things that I can't say anything bad about, like the John Frieda in shower volume treatment that I did a video on, and my Dior Skin Forever foundation that I love. I haven't done a review of that yet. And now this Lancome brow cream gel. It is a cream gel. It's called what do they call it? Gel cream, but I would say it's more like a cream. It's nothing like a gel. The claims, waterproof gel cream to structure and fill in. Yes, great for building up whether you want natural or more defined. Yes, I would definitely agree with that. So let me give you some swatches. Like I said, I've got it on my brow anyway, and this is number 3. I'm just going to do the swatches compared to the 2 Anastasia ones here, because like I said, I've got a photo of all of the swatches together against the Anastasia ones as well. Okay, so these are the swatches of the 3 that I've got in front of me. This one is the Lancome. In fact, you know what? I'm so embarrassed. I'm going to use a makeup brush. This is the Lancome one in taupe. Then I used caramel. Yes, I've done it in that order, but they're backwards for me. Let me change them around. Okay, Lancome in taupe, caramel, the Anastasia Dipbrow in caramel, and the Anastasia Dipbrow in soft brown. And there doesn't look that much difference between caramel and soft brown in the Anastasia, does there? Except that the soft brown is slightly cooler, but let me see, caramel looks to be quite similar to the Lancome one. Yeah, that's taupe and that's caramel, and they look pretty much the same colour, don't they? The Auburn one is not like anything from the Anastasia range that I know of. There is quite a few colours, so that might be silly me saying that, but from any of the ones I've tried, certainly Auburn, O2 Auburn in the Lancome one isn't like anything from the Anastasia range. It's quite a dark red, and like I said, I don't think there's anything like that in the Anastasia one. Now, I don't know if you can see the sheen on that. I don't know if it'll even show, and I can't even see it that much. I can only see it slightly. I hope that it shows up for you. Like I said, it is ever so slight, but I have got the natural light coming back here. Let me do a close-up. So this is a close-up, so that's the Lancome one there. Can you see that slight sheen to it when I move my hand? And then again, that's caramel, and that is soft brown, and they don't look that, in fact the three of them don't look crazy different, do they? But yeah, if I'd have seen that, I'd have thought that was more an eyeshadow base than I would a brow colour. There's obviously something in this whole being a little bit sheeny, because that's what the Giorgio Armani ones are, and like I said, that's why I didn't, or wasn't going to buy them. And I did test them several times and I could see the sheen on them, and I thought, no, I just can't put that in my brows. But I think you'll agree, looking at my brows, I should maybe give you a close-up of my brows. I don't think you can see the sheen at all. Okay, I'm going to give you a close-up of my brows, but no judging, I'm still not good at brows. Okay, that's a close-up of my brows, and like I said, I don't think that you can see any sheen on them at all, can you? And actually it is a pretty good match, isn't it? The only thing I didn't compare for you was price with the Anastasia Dipbrow, but I think it's around about the same price for us. And then of course you've got to pay postage in the UK because you need to order it online. So hopefully these Lancome brow gels will appeal to you. I can see everybody else following suit, to be honest, and there might well be other brands like that, like Dior or Estee Lauder, that do brow gels. I don't know, but this one for me is brilliant. So like I said, I hope that was useful. I'll definitely put in those swatches for you. If you've got any questions, ask me, of course. Let me tell you what I've got on my face. I've got on that Dior Skin Forever foundation that I just love at the moment. I've got on Makeup Forever eyeshadows that I just don't know the numbers to, so I will list them for you in the description below. And then I use just a couple of matte colours, Kid and Deep Fixation. They're just little singles that I've got. On my cheeks I've got Illamasqua Lover blush, and then the Becca Jaclyn Hill highlighter. And on my lips I just used my Maybelline Long Stay lipstick in taupe, soft taupe I think it might be called. And then what did I use on top? I used a lip gloss here. I'm around the other side of the table, so it's not as easy to get to my products, but I used this Bareminerals Lip Gloss. I think it's in something donut, glazed donut. It's come off, but I'll show you what it's like because it's actually very pretty. And it comes in a nice little brush. It's not a doe foot, it's a brush, which I think is really nice. I prefer a brush than a doe foot, to be honest. And that's everything. Yes, that's everything. Oh no, earrings. I've got to tell you about these earrings. They're called asymmetrical earrings, and they're from River Island, aren't they cool? You know how I like River Island. I wish I could get this right one to show a little bit more, because I don't know, it just seems pointless wearing earrings. See, when my hair sits like that, you can see that it shows a little bit more, but I just can't always get it to do that. But anyway, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. I've got a funny taste in my mouth. The swatches of the other colours that I tried, that I swatched. What?